This is Pokling 888 Telemetrading Daily Market Research and Data Analysis. The top 10 most active companies in the Philippine Stock Exchange in terms of volume are the following. Oriental Petrol B traded 780 million with an increase of 20% at a price of 0.0120. All-Day Marts traded 43.47 million with an increase of 1.43% to close at a price of 71 cents per share. SM Prime has 3.17% gains to close at a price of 35 pesos and 8 cents per share with a volume of 20.78 million. Metro Pacific Investment traded 16.21 million at a price of 3 pesos and 86 cents per share. And there was no change in price. Basic Energy traded 15.38 million at a price of 0.65 or 65 cents. And there was also no change in price from the previews. Mundi Nissin with a decrease of 24% at a price of 16 pesos and 72 cents with a volume of 36.41 million. AC Energy Philippines depreciated 2.10% to close at a price of 11 pesos and 2 cents with a volume of 14.12 million. LT Group decreased 0.20% at a price of 10 pesos per share with a volume of 5.39 million. JG Summit traded 2.30 million at a price of 56 pesos and 8 cents per share, where there was a change in price of negative 3.73%. Semirara Mining traded 2.08 million at a price of 22 pesos and 45, where there was also a change in price of a negative 4.06%, or it went down 4.06%. And here are the top gainers companies, led by EasyCall Communications with 40.48% gains to close at a price of 5 pesos and 9 cents per share. Oriental Petrol B with 20% gains at a price of 0.0120. iRemit increased 15.38% to close at a price per share of 1 peso and 0.50. Ace Enixor edged up 15.10% at a price of 28 pesos and 2 cents per share. Italpina's Development increased 13.88% to close at a price of 2 pesos and 38 cents per share. City and Land Development with 9.78% gains at a price of 1.010. Union Bank with 9.46% gains to close at a price of 97 pesos and 2 cents. Next, Manulife Financial appreciated 8.33% to close at a price of 975 pesos per share. Lastly, the SunTrust Home with an increase of 7.96% at a price of 1 peso and 22 cents per share. And here are the top losers companies, led by Petron Pref Series 3, Sub-Series 3A, with 5.23% losses to close at a price of 1,050 pesos per share. Mabuhay Vinyl with 4.65% losses to close at a price of 3 pesos and 9 cents per share. Next, Petro Energy Resources went down 4.63% to close at a price of 3.91 per share. Next, the Semi-Rara Mining fell down 4.06% at a price of 22 pesos and 45 cents per share. JG Summit fell down 3.73% at a price of 56 pesos and 8 cents per share. Then, the Petron Pref Series 3 Sub-Series 3B with 3.60% losses to close at a price of 1,070 pesos per share. Next, the Trans-Pacific Broadband with 3.17% losses at a price of 305 cents or 0.305. Next, Evergotesco with 3.17% losses at a price of 0.3050 per share. Next, the Rojas and Company Incorporated fell down 2.99% at a price of 0.65 or 65 cents per share. Next, the Filipinas Shell Petroleum with 2.91% losses at a price of 20 pesos per share. And here are the updates on Forex. The dollar edges higher on hawkish Fed outlook. The dollar index edged higher to trade above 96.2 on Friday as markets await key U.S. jobs data that could bolster expectations of earlier interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. Next, AUD to USD. Australian dollar hits new one-year low. The Australian dollar depreciated past 0.7080 on Friday, hitting a new one-year low and is headed for a fifth straight week of losses. Next, New Zealand dollars to US dollars. New Zealand dollar heads for fifth week of losses. The New Zealand dollar depreciated past 0.68 on Friday, hovering one-year lows and is headed for a fifth straight week of losses. Next, USD to Japan yen. The Japanese yen eased towards 113.4 per US dollar on Friday. Here are the updates on commodities. For gold price, gold remained weak below 1,780 US dollars an ounce on Friday, hovering close to 1-month lows and on track for its third weekly decline. For crude oil, WTI crude futures climbed above 67 US dollars per barrel on Friday after OPEC Plus kept the door open for policy changes, pledging to act swiftly if demand suffered from measures to contain the Omicron variant. Benchmark U.S. oil prices dipped below $63 in the previous session as OPEC Plus surprised markets when it stuck to plans to add 400,000 BPD supply in January, seen by analysts as a move meant to appease Washington. And here are the updates on stock market. In Europe, European shares rise at end of volatile week. European stock indexes rebounded on Friday after falling sharply in the previous session as concerns over the new Omicron coronavirus variant, mounting inflationary pressure, and prospects of early tapering by the U.S. Federal Reserve continued to drive volatility in markets. Elsewhere, investors should remain cautious as they wait to get a look at the U.S. job data scheduled later today. The table shows the German stock market index, where it edged up 58.65 points or 0.38% at a price of 15,321 and 76 cents. In United Kingdom, London shares rebound on Friday. The FTSE 100 rose above the 7,160 level at the end of a volatile week in an attempt to recover from Thursday's losses as investors raise concern over the new Omicron coronavirus variant against rising price pressure and prospects of early tapering by the US Fed. Meanwhile, all eyes turn to the US jobs report that could provide further cues on the US central bank's monetary policy path. In China, the Shanghai Composite Index gained 0.94% to close at 3,607, while the Shenzhen Component Index rose 0.86% to 14,892 on Friday as consumer staples, semiconductor, utilities, and industrial companies lifted the Chinese market. Gains in mainland stocks were led by Wulangye Yibin 3.01%, Quichao Motai 1.96%, Luzulao 6.37%, Will Semiconductor 3.44%, Giga Device Semiconductor 3.95%, Cesep Solar 10%, China Energy Engineering 9.92%, and Power Construction 8.87%. Meanwhile, Hong Kong listed Chinese technology giants slumped after DB Global announced that it will delist from the New York Stock Exchange and pursue a listing in Hong Kong, succumbing to pressure from Chinese regulators concerned about data security. The move signaled to the markets that the current industry supervision of technology firms in mainland China will continue. In South Africa, stocks in South Africa hit fresh all-time high. The FTSE or JSE All Share Index was up 0.6% to touch a new record high of 71,576 on Friday, mainly supported by all giant Sasol tracking higher oil prices. And here are the updates on manufacturing and services. In Euro Area Composite, the IHS Market Eurozone Composite PMI rose to 55.8 in November 2021 from October's 6-month low of 54.2 and well above market consensus of 53.2, a preliminary estimate showed. The latest reading indicated an improvement in the rate of growth, helped by a sharper increase in the service sector activity. In Italy private sector growth picks up in November. The IHS Market Italy Composite PMI rose to 57.6 in November 2021 from 54.2 in October, pointing to a 10th straight monthly upturn in the private sector output, with the rate of growth the fastest since August and sharp overall. Manufacturing production growth quickened to a 5-month high, and services output increased at a quicker pace and one that was solid. Total new orders increased the most in 3 months, helped by a near record uplift in new export orders, and the pace of job creation accelerated, while capacity pressures intensified as the level of outstanding business rose at a survey record pace. And here's the latest news in Wikiforex. European Union Antitrust Agency fines four banks 390 million US dollars. UBS escaped the heavy penalty by being the whistleblower. The European Commission has slapped a total fine of 344 million euros, around 390 million US dollars, on four banks, including UBS, Barclays, NatWest, previously RBS, HSBC, and Credit Suisse, for their involvement in a forex cartel, the EU antitrust regulator announced on Thursday. The hefty penalty came as the banks agreed to settle the case. The banks discussed and shared sensitive information and trading plans in a chat room named Sterling Lads for spot trading with G10 currencies. HSBC faces the largest penalty at 174.3 million euros, while Barclays has to pay 54.3 million euros. NatWest, which rebranded from RBS last year, is facing 32.5 million euros in fines, whereas Credit Suisse should cough up a total of 83 million euros.